Wow, we're back. We've only missed a week, and it feels so strange. What's up, everybody? It's another episode of Inquiring Minds. We were off last week, but now we're back, and happy to be back. I gotta get the feeling back for this. My God, it's weird, right?
Get back in the flow, man. You're good. You got it.
Get
back in the host mode.
I'm Hialeah Comic Bro, and as always, I'm accompanied by Conquistadork Javi. Javi, how you doing?
Good, man. How's everything?
Everything's great. We're waiting on our guest. Our guest is actually backstage. He's just getting some stuff ready, but you want to shout out the chat real quick?
Of course. We got some amazing people here in the Inquiring Minds chat. I know, like Hialeah mentioned, we weren't able to do last week, but we're back right on track, on schedule. Of course, Magic Lasso. What's an Inquiring Mind show without Magic Lasso in the chat? What's going on, man? Immortal Biggie Shaq. He was selling some books today on Disco's channel. I saw you over there, man. Good job. Hialeah Comic Bro. What's going on, man? Comic Head 84 in the chat. 84. McD, Mark Knapp 68. What's going on, Madison? Joshua Wright, Night Tiger Comics. Thank you, everybody, for hanging in there, for joining us.
Thank you, everybody, for joining. Madison and Joshua are actually one room over from me, so that's kind of cool. Awesome. And hey, I just want to give a quick thanks to McD, man. Thanks for subbing me up today. Appreciate that.
I'm on the laptop. There's no, like, the fan's not too loud or anything. There's
you're perfect. You're great.
All right, cool.
You're great.
Just making sure. Hey, we got Big Remo in the chat.
Oh, what's up, Big Remo? Okay, Night Tiger, everybody. Here's our guest, another Florida boy who we haven't had the chance to meet yet. So I'm looking forward to that. So let me bring him in. And this is, I don't know if this is his first live chat. We're gonna find out real quick. All right, please welcome Poor Mike. What's up, Poor Mike?
Hey.
How's it going?
How's everybody doing? Yo.
Good. What's up, Bob? I got issues.
Good. You ready for your viewership to go down?
I just wanted to say that this is only going to be a 15-minute show because Mike, he warned me.
I can't hear anything. Oh man.
Can you hear us good or?
Can you hear us?
The Bluetooth.
You're good?
Maybe try dropping back in.
You want to drop out and come back.
We're trying to mouth that.
Okay, he did. All right. Yeah. All right. He'll be right back, man. But yeah, Poor Mike. I'm super happy to have him on. He's a great supporter of the show, and a lot of channels, man. I've noticed he pops in, and he's
a great chat supporter.
Great chat supporter. So we've been wanting to get him on. Doesn't do quite a lot on his own channel, but his channel is really good, man. He does all the editing. We're gonna talk about that in a second. Javi. Oh, wait. All right, here we go.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Can you hear it?
I can't. Now I can hear you. Oh,
snap. Okay, good.
Okay. I was just talking.
It happens.
Oh, yeah, it's all right, dude. It used to freak me out when it would happen before. Now it's like it's no big thing. Mike, I was just talking about your channel, man. You don't do a lot on your channel, but what you got on your channel is real quality, though. You do all the editing and stuff.
No. I'm not that smart, bro.
No, I saw your videos, man. I've seen your videos. You do a real. Oh my God, what was the one that I saw? The ages of the comics.
Yeah, but that's
excellent.
Well, that's all my iPhone, man. That's a template built into iPhone, and I just input data, man. I that's a lucky thing for me. I'm not an editor.
Yeah, at least you know your way. At least you know your way around the program to make it look nice. You know?
No, I appreciate that, but man, it's that's the software. Give all the glory to the software on that one. I'm just the guy putting in pictures and stuff.
It's a lot more complicated than what I do, man. I just do one thing and I'm done. I don't even know how to put a little thing at the beginning of the video. I don't know any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But your stuff is great.
No, I appreciate that. I did this for fun, and I had no idea what I was getting into, or still am getting into. But to meet everybody is just like the best part, you know.
Definitely.
I'm kind of working on my AOK game, because mine are like all right, you know. So, but no, I appreciate that. They're real fun to put together. Those quick little, you know, I don't go on for marathons. I think the longest one might be like 2 or 3 minutes, you know.
But that's
So,
perfect though, man. Attention spans.
yeah,
Attention.
yeah, yeah, like squirrel. Yeah.
What was I gonna say? I was also mentioning. Oh my God, what's up, Discovery? Comic
I
Bro?
got issues is in here too. We haven't seen I got issues in a while. What's going on,
Unruly.
Well, to be fair, I kind of, you know, hit some people up on IG, and I'm like, hey, if you're interested, come see the old man on TV. You know, I've been talking to you guys for like a year.
And let's see
So,
how many subs Hialeah loses tonight. Let's see.
Oh, damn.
What's the over under?
Yeah.
What's up, Simple Simon? You know what? You have a really amazing video on your channel though, that you put what was it? I forgot what it was called. Let's get some subs. Or
Well, so that was my contest entry video into Tim the Comic Collector.
awesome.
So where he was basically saying, hey, you know, I have subbed up these people. Your job is to sub up these people and then make a video about who you want other people to sub, and, you know, kind of make the connection. So I blame my good friend Roger Metarog, when he did his like 1K appreciation, and then he's like, okay, go sub everybody up in the chat, boom, 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 and everybody was subbing everybody up from the chat.
Yeah.
You can't do that anymore.
No,
So I think Roger broke the YouTube when we did all that, because I got like 70 subs that night, and I'm like, what?
Wow.
You know? So
but that was an incredible night, though. I remember that. I was there too. I saw.
Yeah,
that.
that was an amazing night.
That was amazing, man.
And man, darn YouTube taking that awesome feature away, man. I don't know what's behind that, but it was such a simple, you know, sub.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, oh, chatting with this person. Oh, you're from Florida. Oh, bam, sub up, you know, and then hit them up on IG, and then go hunting with them somewhere or something. You know, I mean,
is that something that you've done? Have you?
Well, I got to meet Steve.
Is Steve the only one you've met? Is he the only one you've met?
I met Perry up at the Comics Club. So Perry lives somewhere south of me, but he came up to the Comics Club, and I just happened to be at the shop when he was there.
That's coincidental. Yeah.
My first AOK. So funny story. I don't know if Rod's in here. Rod the Rican. I was working over that way, and I had texted him. I said, hey man, I got some books for you, but I don't know how to pack them. You know, I don't I don't want him to come all jacked up, you know, because he had mentioned he wanted like a Soup's Flash cover, a race cover, you know. Right. I said, oh, I got that book. He's like, oh man, how much you want for it? I said, no, you know, not a thing. You know, we have an amazing community of givers. And I said, you know, I'm not stalking you, bro, but I'm like driving through your neighborhood. I heard you live this way. And he's like, you can see the hesitation in the text, and you see like the bubbles and they go away. And then he's like, yeah, okay, here's my address. And I had stopped by, and he said, I had a bunch of Flash books for him. And I get out of my work van, and he comes up to me and he's like, bro, you're tall.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'2". I mean, I don't think I'm
wow, nice, yeah.
But yeah, so I mean that's kind of what started watching you guys in the shows. And I was literally working around the corner from Steve's house, and he hit me up with, yo Mike, what you reading? I'm like, oh snap, you know, some of this and some of that. Yeah, come on by, I got a box for you. I never even seen the guy. I mean, that's how that guy's got a golden heart, man. You know,
Steve is amazing, man.
Yeah, yeah. And we got together on a shipment out to McD, you know, and Steve's he could probably still tell it better than me, but you know, we went to go ship it out, and there was like I think Matt had told us, all right, man, watch out for the price on the shipping. They're gonna get you international, you know. And we were like, oh, we'll be all right. Went to like UPS.
Mm-hmm.
They dropped it on us, and Steve's like, damn, we're not shipping body parts, you know. It's like, so we went to another place. You know? I know, it's like books, and it was light. I mean, you know, a couple books, and he had put a slab in there. It was light. Like, ooh, they charged the dollars. They charged the dollars. Yeah.
Okay.
I went back to my Miami days, and I was like, yo, you know.
Hey, going back to Miami.
Yeah.
You're the first person on this show, I think, that was actually born in Hialeah.
I was born in Hialeah Hospital. Yeah.
You were born in Hialeah. I was born at North Shore, so that's a little bit out of Hialeah, maybe a few miles away.
Yeah.
You were born in Hialeah Hospital?
Yeah.
So born and raised
born and raised in Florida. Grew up in South Miami, the suburbs of Miami, and you know, joined the military to see the world, and I get shipped from Miami to Tampa. So I was like, wow, this a whole new place. They speak they speak Spanish over here. They got Cuban sandwiches over here. Croquetas. I mean, you know, we got flan too, you know. So.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah, man. I was like, how do you get to go, you know, a couple hundred miles away from where you grew up, and then you know, I grew roots here, and you know, family, kids, school, career, you know. So I work on air conditioning. I do both controls and the service work. With the company for a long time. I'm going into my 22nd year after the military, and that's what I did in the Air Force. It was like, well, what'd you do in the Air Force? I worked on air conditioners, you know. So I learned a trade, and I got to do it in the civilian world. So,
how long were you in the service?
So I did 5.5 active, and I did 2 in the Air National Guard. Both, you know, all at MacDill. I had a couple of what they call TDYs. I got to go to Egypt. I got to go to Texas a couple times, El Paso, but not too much more than that.
That was going to be my next question. You didn't stay in Tampa the whole time, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So you got orders, and you're at one place, and then if you go out on exercise, you still come back to the one place. So I was only ever stationed in MacDill and Tampa. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. But hey, you know what? Thank you for your service, and look at that.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
And you just made it your life, your career.
Hey, Miami, right? When the hurricanes came through it, and you had no AC, and when that stuff came on, I said, "Oh, I could learn a trade. I could do something with that." You know, I mean, no offense to the soldiers that are out there, because I tell you what, it took me years of my wife convincing me. You know, I still kind of get emotional about it now, but I'm not a soldier. I worked on air conditioning. I had to shoot the M16 once a year, live bullets at a target, right? And when I went out on exercise, they needed me to run the air conditioners in the tents. So when I was out in Egypt, it was on exercise, and this was in the early 90s. So this was before all the crap happened. So we're in a different time now, you know, but that took me, man, that took me so long to consider myself a veteran and a soldier and stuff. But my wife was like, no, you know, you signed the contract, you might could go worldwide, and they got you on the hook for so many years. I mean, you're a veteran. So it took me a long time to believe that. So,
but you are, man. They can't do it without the support. And it's not air conditioning; it's the cooks. It's, you know, you know better than I do. They can't fly an M16 Is that what it is? An M16? No, that's a gun.
That's the gun.
Yeah, M16 is a gun. F16.
F16. F16.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's embarrassing.
We might could fly M16. I don't know.
Yeah, a couple of years maybe. You never know.
But hey, they can't fly an F-16 without other support, man. It's just not gonna happen, dude.
Well, and even now, I'm blessed to be with a large company, it's air conditioning company, and I get to go back to MacDill as a contractor and work.
Wow.
And even those guys and girls would tell me, "No, Mike, you were supporting us out there." You said the same thing. I mean, you know, the cooks, the refrigerators, the meat, all that stuff. I just saw it as, this is what I want to do with my life, you know, after the military. It's like, I want to learn air conditioning. I want to work on air conditioning. So I hope that doesn't sound too bad or come across too bad, but it took me forever to learn that of myself. So
no, dude, yeah, you gotta be.
I mean, you have the chat. Just, you know, serving our country is serving our country. Thank you, Mike. Says Jeff Schultz.
Yeah.
You are a veteran, Mike. Says D. So yeah,
no, I appreciate that. It took me forever to get that way. Yeah. And I can't see the chat, so I apologize if.
I'm trying to put it up. Yeah. I'm trying to put as much as I can up. Yeah, you're a veteran. Oh yeah, dude. There ain't no doubt.
Yeah.
They can't do it without that. And let me tell you something. Air conditioning, and you're in Florida, bro.
Yeah.
You want
I texted you that.
I
texted you that picture the other day, right?
Oh my God, he was just drenched, man. And I think I gotta take a shower before. And I was like, oh, dude, I'm like, wait a second, today's Tuesday. And I go, he thought it was yesterday. I go, it's not today. Dude, I don't know, man. Yeah. Your air goes out in Florida and you automatically panic. You go into panic mode. And when can the guy get out here? What's wrong? Yeah. It's instant terror.
So I'll say this. I had an AC problem not too long ago. It was last month. And I have a Nest.
So do I.
Electronic, whatever. And I was like, oh, the wiring's off, you know? And I'm like, what the hell? I don't know what to do with any of this, you know? So I call my AC tech and he comes in. The AC guy is literally there for not even 5 minutes and he fixed it. And I was like, oh man, it's like that, like Hialeah's saying, you panic in Florida when you have no AC, but it's like something as it was like the safety, like the safety float had I guess it was overpowering because of summer or something, and the safety just like made the AC shut off, and he had to just reset the safety, and that was it.
Okay.
Mike, I don't know if you're seeing all these comments, man, but yeah, dude, everybody's man.
I appreciate that. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to like. If you wanted to ask me questions, or if the chat wanted to ask questions about air conditioning. So the theory of air conditioning is fine and dandy. I work on the bigger stuff. So if you ever go to downtown Miami and you figure out how are they going to air condition that 100-story building, you know, well, there's a chiller plant somewhere, and the chiller plant is for the purpose of containing the refrigerant into one vessel that I cool water down to like 42 degrees, but then I pump that water in throughout the building into the air handlers, and the air going across a coil, just like a radiator cools down your engine. I cool down that air with that cold water going through an air handler. So when I get to work on the smaller stuff, like the residential stuff, I'll tinker with mine, but I don't know all the ins and outs of the smaller ones, you know, because I get to work on the controls and the building automation and the big chiller plants and stuff. And oddly enough, we can put glycol in that water in some plants. We can run it through ice tanks. I freeze ice tanks, and then I get free cooling in the daytime when energy is high. Cost is high. I use the ice to cool down that water, and I let the chillers relax. You know what I mean? So it's pretty intense. You think, hey, I'm cooling down a house, and sometimes you think, no, I'm cooling down that skyscraper. It's pretty badass, you know. So
dude. Dude, it's a lifesaver. And the thing is, when my AC goes out, I really, I don't really panic because I could just take off my shirt. I'll sleep through anything pretty much. But the wife, the daughter, dude.
Yeah, we have those billboards.
Bro, please, when is this guy gonna come so they can shut the
We have those billboards in Florida that's like keep your wife hot, or like keep your wife cool, or something like that. I don't know what it is exactly, but it's like down that same line. Yeah.
God, look what you're really saying, Mike. You guys are always getting in our way in because he's plumbing is I believe is multifamily. Curse you guys.
Yeah. So it's always who's there first, right? So I will tell you this: in the construction business, as they're building buildings, I don't care who it is. I mean, I know plumbers got to plumb and drywallers got to drywall, and some people say, "Man, I can't lay the carpet because the air ain't working. It's so hot in here." Well, if the sprinkler guy gets there first, the fire sprinkler guy, and he hangs up his pipe, but that's where my air handler is supposed to hang. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're always getting in each other's ways on construction sites. You're on a site with no air conditioning in the middle of a sand pit, because there's no landscaping, there's no pavement, you're out there. So yeah, I've been on that side too, and it's like I walked across. This guy had this. You couldn't even call it a sign. I mean, I felt so bad, but
yeah,
I walked by this little strip of tape. And I'm trying to find my way up to the roof because there's no power, there's no elevator, but I got to go up, like 18 flights to get to the roof because the air conditioners are on the roof.
Oh man.
And yeah, it's crazy. So he's like, "You're walking on my tile. I just laid my tile." I'm like, "I didn't see no sign." He was, "You didn't see that little tape?" And it was like
minuscule.
Yeah, like this little tape thing. Like, bro, that ain't no sign. Put the sheriff's tape out or something, something. Put the cones out, but
yeah.
So yeah, I know what he's talking about on construction jobs. It's like, who gets there first? And then when we get there after the fact, that's the fun part. It's like, okay, they hung the air conditioner up there and now I'm supposed to service it. It's like, oh, okay. They didn't think about servicing it. They just needed to install it, So
right.
We go through a lot of stuff. I mean, that picture I sent you yesterday, that was me climbing through an attic to get to a chilled water pipe in Centro Ybor. I don't know if you've ever been to Ybor City out here.
Yeah, we went
to Ybor City Comics to check it out.
Yeah. Okay, so west of there is like 2 city blocks of like old time Central. Like they got cigar factories and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was in that attic. Yeah.
Being up in the attic in Florida is no joke, bro.
Oh man, the heat! Right when you go through the hole, it's like pow! It's like a big hot fart. Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't understand Florida unless you've lived here for a while and experienced different things here, like going in an attic. In Florida, murder, man. It's murder.
Did you pull up 84's comments? I love when people take pride and geek out on their trade. Any job can be interesting depending on your interest of level.
Yeah, I put it up.
Yeah, man. I was blessed, man. I really wanted to learn the trade, and it's like, hey, the government, that's a government job. They'll train you. So I got all the tech training, and then I got all the practical training. And then I was able to turn that right around into a civilian job. So yeah, I definitely love what I do. So
yeah, man. Look at Key Largo. Your wife is hot. Better get your AC fixed. Yeah, that's I think one of the refrigeration companies uses that, I believe.
Yeah. I think I've seen that on some commercials and stuff.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I was watching Jem Mint put up a video yesterday about why he left Florida, and I watched this, a short video, maybe about 3 minutes long, and his wife Fee, she said a story about Florida, and she basically, what she said is, you want to know how hot it is in Florida? Go take a shower, don't dry off, just put your clothes on, and that's Florida. And that's basically it, man. Today I walked out and it was like, oh my God, bro! I used instant drenched. It's
my best friend is Cuban,
Mhm.
and he taught me long ago back in high school, maybe even junior high. He's like, dude, you got to wear undershirt. You know what I'm saying? Like the tank top. And I says, man, it's like another
Yeah.
layer. You know? He's like, bro, evaporative cooling. You know,
Yeah.
you start to sweat, and that undershirt will keep you cool.
Yeah, it'll keep you.
So
It'll
ever since then, I've been wearing undershirts. You know.
What
So
high school did you go to?
Miami Southridge.
Okay, so you went down
So
south.
down in
Down south.
I grew up in Cutler Ridge. Yeah, I grew up in Cutler Ridge, but I think they call it Cutler Bay now. They wanted to change the name. I don't know why they
Yeah.
did that, but and basically the coffin, the nail in the coffin or whatever. So 1992, Hurricane Andrew. Whoop, that's when I was out of there. So I was lucky and blessed. I was in Fort Myers with my fiance at the time, and let me think about this. Yeah, and my mom's called and she said, "Hey, don't come home. There's a storm coming." And that's the only thing I like about hurricanes is that we know when that jank's coming down the road because we got like a week's notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's like, "Hey, bad storm coming. Don't come home. Stay over there, relax. Come home after." And I'm trying to remember if that was like a Sunday night or something.
Yeah,
And we weren't allowed.
It came on a Sunday night. Yeah, it came on a Sunday.
Because we didn't get to go back until like Tuesday or Wednesday, and I had just filled up my truck with because I said, "Moms, what does everybody need?" And she's like, "Bring some ice and some drinks." So we loaded up coolers in the back of the truck and went across Alligator Alley, from Fort Myers down through Immokalee and all that stuff, and I couldn't recognize the place. I mean, here's a place that I grew up walking barefoot, miles from the house. I knew where everything was, and I couldn't recognize anything. Trees was down, buildings was down. I mean, that was a crazy time.
Yeah.
So, and then that was, like what, September, August, something like that. So it was, got married in December, got in the military the early year after that, early 93, February. So I married young, still married. She loves me. I love her. We got 2 boys.
Congratulations.
Appreciate that. Yeah, 22 and 19, both in college. One's fixing to graduate in December, and the other one's fixing to move out in August. So
Nice, man. Dude.
So and check this out. She probably won't like me saying this, but I've known her.
Is she watching?
Nah.
No.
This is my thing, man. She's like, "How long are you gonna be on that TV show?" Or this is yeah.
Did she think you're a star?
Nah. I'm a star. I'm a star for different reasons. Definitely not for the YouTubes. But I've known her since 7th grade.
Wow, awesome.
And never dated. She was my best friend. She is my best friend. And then it was like after high school, graduated, we're like, oh snap, she's the one. Like, I gotta do something. I had a good job at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I had a custom ring made, and boom, got married. So
you've known her since 7th grade. When did you become a couple?
After high school, so we graduated in 90. We became a couple in 91. We got married in 92.
Nice.
That's awesome, man.
That's awesome. What was I gonna say? Going back to Andrew, man. Andrew.
Oh.
Andrew changed everything down here. People it's night and day. Florida was something until 92, and it's something else ever since then. It just changed everything.
Yeah, and I think Unruly can probably speak to this because I think that storm changed like building codes and stuff.
Oh,
like
yeah.
You have to a bigger roof, a better this, a better that.
The longer nails, I believe. The nails were, I think, too short back then. Then they went to like 3-inch nails for the roof.
Yeah.
Changed the code.
But then the spacing between the nails changed too. They have more nails per sheet and all that kind of stuff.
It changed everything. And then Wilma and those hurricanes that came in the 2000s, they changed everything for like the gas stations. Because remember when that hit, the gas stations had no electricity, so now they all have to have generators, and to pump
Yeah.
gas, and every hurricane it gets a little bit better, but you got to go through crap to get better, man. Because dude, Hurricane Andrew.
Yeah, but think about this though. So we're talking about air conditioning, which is awesome. But people came to Florida before air conditioning, be like, hey, this is the spot. Like, you're gonna open up the window and get them bugs. And how did they come here back then? What was the draw back then?
I thought that too. How the hell did they? Well, they had a lot more windows, and they would open up the houses, and the air would flow in and out. But still,
but bro, them palmetto bugs. You know what I'm saying? Like if you open up the windows, then you get 50 of them in your house. Whew, you have to move.
Crazy. Florida's a swamp. We live in a swamp. You know?
That's true.
Is Florida the only place that has palmetto bugs? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I know I was like this with the flip flop. What my friend used to call it, chancleta or something. You know, gonna hit you with your chancleta. Chancleta. And that thing went and just flew. I was like, whoa! I didn't know they were gonna fly.
Guys, palmetto bugs are like roaches on steroids. Yeah. They're like almost like they have a covering, and they're like, dude, you're not just gonna step on one. You know, you don't want to.
Yeah. That's a crazy bug.
It's a freaking crazy bug, dude. You got it, dude. But yeah, man. Air conditioning. You guys are practically. You know what? You guys are probably. You know, air conditioning is probably you're probably the closest thing to superheroes down here in Florida, man.
Oh, I get to learn a little bit of everything too, so it's kind of fun.
I'm sure you. Oh, look, G Largo says Texas has them, but they're bigger in Florida. Okay. Hey, they're bigger in Florida.
Well, I tell you, when I went to so basic training was in Texas, but then when I went to tech school for air conditioning, it was in Wichita Falls, Texas. And you know how we have like I don't know if you had them down there, but down in Cutler Ridge we had the land crabs, where the land crabs would just like come across the road and they'd be like popping tires.
Yeah, you don't see it now too much, but back in the day you would see that.
Okay, it was pretty bad back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And when Texas, tarantulas. I was like, what? Go like right across the road, and I'm like, oh, if that gets in the apartment, Kelly, like I'm out. You know, get my gun or whatever.
I'll rather have the crab. I'm with you there.
Yeah. That was interesting for me to get used to. So
Javi brought something up a second ago. He touched on something. What does your wife, your kids think of this? Oh, first of all, is this the first time you go live?
Oh yeah.
No.
When was the first time you went live?
My very first time, and it was a long time ago, was on Matt's channel.
Oh, okay.
So this was right before StreamYard started. There was still the Google Hangouts.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And Matt came on, he went live for something. And he's like, hey guys, here's the link. Anybody wants to join me, I'll send you the link. And nobody said nothing. And I don't know if I was still learning like what the lag was on the chat and stuff. But I said, hey, here's my email. Shoot me the thing. And I was like, I don't think he was going to send it to me. And he sent it to me. And then boom, I got on, and it was Big Lion Cat, Spectre, not Mark Spectre, but
Spectre?
Well, but Spectre Comics.
Spectre Comics, yeah.
He was also in the military. He was on there. I don't think Bake was on there. Bake might have been in the chat, and I was just like, you know, I was like, look, he's talking, and I'm not saying nothing. It's like, oh, bags and boards and Mylar, and oh yeah, excellent. I was just like, you know, I was like the quiet kid on the Brady Bunch. You know, I think there was like 6 of us in there.
Yeah.
I don't know how to go. I don't know how to go find that. You know, like, do you go to Matt's channel and try to dig back in history? But I mean, I have no idea.
Is it Matt Thanatos?
No, Matt Thanatos. So he and I became friends. I'm talking about Boy Who Had 7.
Okay.
Yeah, Thanatos. He and I became friends. So I won them legs from his 700 subs. So that's how he and I became friends.
Nice.
That was my first slab until I met Steve, and then Steve AOK'd me another slab.
And do you want to say the story of when that you got that slab, because he kind of hit you with it, right? How did he put it in the box? How did he put it in the box? Because I remember that.
So first off, I'm trying to think. It was a cardboard box, but it was probably the size of a medium mailer. And I'm on the roof over on some air conditioning job.
Yeah.
I think I hit him up, or he hit me up on IG, and it was like, oh hey, and I'm like, oh, hey, just texting, and how's it going? How things going? Man, it's hot, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, man. And he had just come back from a job or something, and he hits me up with well, what are you reading? And I'm like, Robin, Batman, Guardians of the Galaxy is pretty badass, man, and he's like, yeah, I like all that stuff. He starts texting me pictures. I'm like, oh, man, that's a nice cover. He's like, okay, it's yours. I'm like, huh? So then I tell him, I said, I'm in the town. He goes, oh, I live like 3 blocks from there. I'm like, what? And he's like, here's my address. And I'm like, for real? And or something like that. He goes, I'll meet you. And I said, nah, don't worry, I'll travel. If you're gonna give me something, I'll do the drive time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it wound up being right there. So I pull up in his yard, and I'm like, do I go knock and say, hi, I'm here for my free books? I don't. So I just text him, and he comes out, and he's got this box. Oh, this camera's funny. I see you guys complain about it all the time. But and I pick up the box. I'm like, bro. He's like, yeah, I left something. I got something special in there on the bottom. I'm like, okay. And then we just start talking. We probably just chatted for, I don't know, better part of 40 minutes. His wife came out. I was like, oh, this is my wife. Oh, this is poor Mike. I was like, oh, hey, so.
He's a sweetheart.
And
he's awesome.
dude. And I think while we were standing there talking, Chad, 90 miles, had been like calling him, boom, 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 and he's like,
That's what Chad does, man.
I guess I better take this call. And I'm like, all right, man, it's great to talk to you. Good to see you. And I was like a kid, I was like, my heart was racing. I was like, dude, I just got this box from the AOK King. Like, I'm a little worried, like what he said was at the bottom. Man, I get down to the stoplight, and I looked at the top boxes, but I peeled that thing back. It was Batman Damned 2 9/8 CGC. I was like, what in the hell? Got to the next stoplight. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, hey, that's how I roll. I was like, damn. And then I think I had shown it somewhere, and Raul, you said you had just got stunned or something like that, or the stunner. Yeah. He dropped the stunner.
He got the stunner on you.
That's what he does.
Yeah. But you guys don't even know me, right? That's why I said your viewership's going to go down. But it's like, how does he have the wherewithal to pick out books? I mean, yeah, I kind of, I told him Guardians of the Galaxy and Robin and all that kind of stuff. But geez, I don't know how he does it.
That was before MegaCon?
Well, so that was before the 2 MegaCons ago. Because he was trying to convince me 2 years, whatever that was, 2 MegaCons ago. He's like, man, you should go with us. So I'm like, yeah, I'm still dipping my toe in the pink, I'm still dipping my toe in the water kind of a thing with this whole stuff. And it's like, nah, you should go. And I didn't go that time. And I really wanted to go this time, had tickets and everything, but Rona.
Mike, it's fun. Yeah. It's not about what you're buying. It's not even about money, dude, because you don't have to buy anything if you don't want to. It's just hanging out and just, oh, dude, it's such a great time, man.
Dude, I bought a blank cover Star Wars, the revamp that they just did about Empire Strikes Back. So #1 blank. And I just wanted all you guys to sign it and remark it and just do whatever, front, back, middle, inside cover. I was just like, dude, I want to meet everybody. That's why I said we're gonna need like a drone to take our picture, because there's gonna be like 120 of us there or something. You
That
know
would've
what I
been
mean? So
cool. I had the same thing. I had a blank cover, and I wanted just everybody to sign it. It didn't even matter what the book was. It's just a blank cover. Just everybody
Yeah.
got down on it, man. That's what I had the same thing in mind. But you have to do it with us. It's okay. I gotta say something. Your mistake, your mistake with Steve was. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know. When Steve asked, don't say anything.
Yeah. I just thought we was making a common thread. I had
No, it's
Dude,
not.
but
There's
he-
always something behind it.
but he didn't even know me. That was the thing. It's like I was not expecting an AOK from the master because he doesn't know me. I didn't put in the legwork. I mean, like you said, I got a little bit of stuff on my channel, but I'm usually in the chats or just wanting to talk to you guys. But how in the hell? And then he's like, I remember him saying something like, "Well, I don't got a damn video on my channel," you know. So but I didn't. Yeah.
The only person that still, when Steve starts asking questions, the only person that still says something is 90, because 90 has no shame. 90, Steve, I want this book. Look, let me text you what the book you're looking for. You know, so you can find some. You know, 90's the only one that's shameless. He's the only one that's shameless.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Steve,
if we would have 84 on, 90 would probably pop in the chat, but since 84 is not on this show, he doesn't even pop in. Okay, but that's all I gotta say about that. That's all I gotta say.
Oh man,
what were you gonna say?
Man, I don't even remember. Squirrel.
Yeah.
So what got you? Did you start making videos first, and then that's what kind of got you into the chats, or did you find like somebody else's channel first?
So I really my first video was the contest entry into Thanatos 700.
Nice.
But what got me in there was my brother-in-law and my younger son. They were like, "Yeah, you can go on YouTube and just search comics." And I'm like, "What do you mean search comics?" And they're like, "Yeah, just put in comics and see what comes up." And back then, no lie, I mean, I'm definitely not a veteran, but 2 years ago, looking back now, is like a long time ago.
Yeah.
But Bueller popped up.
Yes.
And then Bueller acknowledged me in the chat, and I just had my real name on there, you know. So Poor Mike is a play on my name. I don't know if that's an interest to any of you guys or not, but he would say, "Hey, Michael, hey, how's it going? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, and when I'm done with this show, because it was like Friday nights, come on over to the Comic Core, and we're gonna do some more hanging out there." And I'm like, "What?" So then I'd go over there, and he's like, "Oh, Michael, hey, thanks for coming back over to the thing." I'm like, "Dude, talking to me through the thing? I mean, it's like." You know, that's why I said, well, when I texted you, you know, I didn't want to offend you, Hialeah, but it was like, you're like the Cuban Johnny Carson, you know, you get all these people on here and it's like, you got this little show. And when you acknowledge us common folk in the chat, it's like, oh man, it makes me feel good, you know? So that's kind of how I got into it. And then it's like, I can make a video. Yeah. And I'm pretty good at PowerPoint because I'm an instructor as well. So I have to put together classes and things like that. So pretty good with PowerPoint. And then like, again, I tried to figure out how to do this on my phone on a smaller scale. And then I started putting that stuff together and using iMovie and things like that. So I do it for fun. I really don't have a regular schedule. That's probably why I don't have the subs, because nobody knows when to come back to get the stuff. But quick little things. I mean, I wish I could do a support video for everything and everybody, but I kind of pick and choose my battles when it fits my family life kind of a thing, you know? So, I mean, I'm big on family. So
give me 1 second. I just got to say bye to somebody that's leaving, and I'll be right back. Okay. Somebody popped in the chat. I want to address that person in a second. I'll be right back.
Uh-oh.
1 second.
Oh, that's awesome. So Bueller kind of introduced you to, I guess, like the whole bigger community of everything. Were you already collecting comics when you were starting to search like comics on YouTube and things like that?
Yeah, good point. I had comics as a kid. I only probably had a long box, but I don't remember what storm it was. But when the closet flooded, the box flooded, lost all the comics.
Oh
But
man.
I'm a reader, so I had like, 10-cent books that were like 10 cents, but not Silver Age stuff. It was just like reader copies that you get from the library that the library was throwing away or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I what got me back into it now, I wish I would have brought it in here, but the Red Hood Outlaw, there was a B cover where he was smashing Batman into like this tank thing or something. It was I think it was in the 20s, 25 or 24. That cover and talking to you guys like reinvigorated my thirst for reading more, trying to get more and read, so I mean, I got creases in all my books,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff is just like, oh, because I'm blessed that I can watch a movie a couple times and not know all the things about it. I'm still paying attention,
Right.
but I could see movies and pick different parts out. So when I read stories again, it's like, oh wow, cool. So it's like new to me and stuff like that.
Nice.
So,
That's
but
awesome.
but yeah, that that Red Hood Outlaw got me back into it, and then it got me talking to McD, and then figuring out this whole community. And it's like I said, in the chats, you guys are talking back. It's not like, who's the new guy? Don't talk to the new guy. He's got to do his dues. It's like I came in fully vested. You know what I mean? You guys took me in open arms. So it's pretty awesome.
It's awesome when you first start, like, you get in the chat, like you said, and Bueller recognizes you, and you're like, who the hell are, how does, it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling, right?
Yeah.
I think everybody feels like, oh shit,
Yeah.
And then when
back then
oh my God.
Yeah. And back then it was my real name across the bottom, and my last name's French, and everybody would used to mess it up. And he would correct people when they would mess up my name. They would be like, no, this is how you say it. I'm like, holy crap, he knows how to say my name.
What's your last name?
Porson.
Oh, French. I got you.
Yeah. Poisson is fish.
Okay.
And so that was my nickname in the military too. Everybody called me Fish. Hey, Fish, go grab the gauges. Hey, Fish, go get the truck. So everybody called me Fish in the military. But yeah, to look at it with the spelling and the I's and the R's and the things like that, they're like, Pyarson, try to do their own thing, and it's like just Porson, poor, no money, poor Mike, boom, So that's what I kind of put it on.
Dude, how was that growing up in South Florida?
What do you mean?
Your last name. Did it get butchered back when you were a kid?
Oh, it got wailed on. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Even my name gets butchered, man. Javier. Yeah. They with the J in front of it. They're just like Javier.
Yeah. Javier. Yeah.
No, my name gets butchered by American people. They call me Ral. And it's
Ral.
Ral. I used to hate that shit. Hey, we were talking about somebody, and I'm surprised he popped in, but there he is. Now all of a sudden, his name gets mentioned. I'm super surprised.
It's like Beetlejuice.
84 is not on the show, and he pops in. But hey, you know what, man? We've had so many people. I'm trying to highlight. I'm sorry if we're not calling everybody out, but I'm trying to highlight everybody, man. But thank you so much for the support. This is, man. Thank you, Mike. Man, you brought a ton of people.
Like I said, I didn't know if I was breaking the rules, but I was like hitting everybody up at like 7 o'clock tonight. Hey, come check me out if you want to.
Yeah, I don't usually do it. We just go live with, and then I put it in after. But maybe I don't know. I try doing it that way. Whatever.
Yeah. No worries. I'm hoping for a part
earlier,
2.
Yeah, like you said earlier, it's for the fun of it. Try to bring everybody together, try to introduce everybody to each other, and all in good fun.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And I wanted to have you on because you are one of, I guess, the Florida peeps. And
I appreciate that.
And you're a great supporter, man. And like I've said earlier, not just of this channel, dude, so many channels. And it shows. Look at how many people have shown up for you. And I think that says a lot to you, and that's even with you not making a ton of content, man. So kudos,
Yeah.
man.
No, I
Kudos,
appreciate that. Yeah.
dude.
That's there's always good that comes from the bad. It's hard to see the good when you're inside the bad. But
Yes.
Hurricane Andrew taught me community, and I was a young guy at the time, thinking I was a badass, right? Thinking, I can't get into too many details. I don't know what the statute of limitations are, but apparently messing with people's mail is a federal offense.
Yeah.
But when that storm hit, and I knew my neighbors, but it was like, hey Frank, hey Bob, you get out of your car, you go in your house.
Right.
After that storm, man, I was out cutting yards, cleaning out people's pools. We had a working telephone. We had the only working telephone on the block. Our neighbor had a washer and dryer. Every house seemed to have a little something different, and it was like there was the community came together and helped that neighborhood, flourish, because it got pretty bad to the point they brought in the National Guard and stuff, and everybody was on curfew. And if you were out past curfew, they'd break those glow sticks and pour them on your clothes, to let you know that you already went through a checkpoint. It was like, God, it's like Terminator, it was like, what the hell's going on here? And it was, I think we were at like 39 days without power in my neighborhood. My dad sleeping at the front door and me sleeping at the back door, kind of a thing. And not to say that I grew up in a rough part of town, but it's just like you just didn't know, because people were taking advantage of opportunities that what they thought, I heard there was people looting at the Cutler Ridge Mall during the storm.
Yeah.
So.
What I remember in my street, my side of the street had no electricity for, I think, like a month, something like that. Maybe a couple of weeks, a few weeks to a week to a month. And all you would see on the street is all the electrical cords from across the street going to our side, because all our neighbors were giving us electricity because they had it on the other side of the street. And and that's what you're talking about, community, and it's the same thing, It brings out the best. It brings out the worst, but I think it's more of the best, man, because I worked at Publix, and I just remember you mentioned ice. Ice during a hurricane is like gold. And I just remember the cops escorting the ice truck to the store. And then people were making the line, and cops were like directing the line because people were getting out of control and keeping the order. And we were just backbreaking, just throwing out ice bags.
Yep.
Bro, a hurricane.
Can you imagine if they had those ice machines that you walk up to and you put that 5-pound bag under and it comes out the chute and you that ready ice? Can you imagine if they had those machines, like, to make light of the situation? I always think about, I want a time machine and I'm going to go back to like 1987 and I'm going to invent the spinner rim and I'm going to be the man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I would go back in time, put the ice machine there and be like, I made all my money on ice. It's like,
people just don't understand the ice during a hurricane, bro. It sounds like ridiculous. It's almost like the toilet paper thing that happened with ice.
They went nuts. Yeah. And another thing you don't think about. So again, blessed. I had a pool growing up. Well, what are we going to do with all that water? And my dad's like, well, that's how we're going to flush the toilets. I mean, well, can't we just flush the toilet by hitting the handle? He's like, no. You get a 5-gallon bucket, you bring it in the bathroom, and you pour that down the tub, and that's what flushes your junk. I'm like, damn. So, all right, we got toilets working. So
they still do it.
Weird.
They still do it like that in Cuba, man. They still do it like that in Cuba with the pouring.
There's no running water.
Not a lot. Not in a lot of places. Hey, look who showed up. Your buddy just showed up. Barry just showed up.
Mr. Perry.
Barry Kachung is in here also. What's going on, Kachung?
Sorry again, D-Runk, man, John's Comics with Kids, McD, Matt Thanatos, 90, of course, Life with Two YouTubers, Captain.
Oh, man.
Sorry if I've missed any names, guys. I truly apologize. Apologize.
That's awesome.
But, oh my God. So what do you?
So let me show you. Let me just show you a couple things non-comic related. I mean, I don't know what time it is. It seems like
I'm good. If you're good,
I'm good.
But I want
I'm
you
good.
to do this because you were telling us before the show.
Yeah. So you get a challenge coin, okay? So how this is a military thing. I don't know if it's any other thing. But if your life is in danger, right? And you're calling out for help and you're at your unit and a cabinet fell on you and you can't get out, you take this challenge coin out of your pocket and you flick it and it hits the ground. Ting, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that has a challenge coin that comes out and presents their challenge coin to your challenge, you have to buy a beer.
What?
Yes. So when you're given a unit coin and you present it in the wild, right? As to say if each of you are supposed to have one,
Right.
Yeah.
and I pull mine out and you can't pull yours out because you didn't bring it with you, then you buy me the beer. But if I challenge you and you present the coin to me, then it's like, damn, now I got to buy you the beer.
Yeah.
So you'd be in the unit, and like that's what they kind of explained it. It's like if there's nobody around, you're out in the field and you're locked down in a foxhole, and you need somebody to come, and you're screaming, "Help! Help!" You throw out your coin, ding, 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 ding. Somebody's gonna show up and be like, "Where's my beer at?" Because
I got my coin. Where's my beer?
So
Like,
so that kind of started my little when I go places, I get coins, so the USS Nautilus, Washington National Cathedral, this is a Barack Obama when he was in office, when we went to DC for what was it, the cherry blossom festival, I think is what it was. It was a pretty cool tree. Here's something from Tybee Island, like a lighthouse. Here's a coin from Ellis Island, and my aunt traced our family back from France, coal miners from France that came over through Ellis Island. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then
awesome.
that's where they messed up the spelling of my last name, and they Americanized it from the French, Poisson. They put the R in there and stuff like that. So, but yeah. So coins, I like coins. We go out of town, we go somewhere. It's like, oh, I gotta look to see if there's a coin place or something I can get a coin for that kind of a thing. So
yeah, and it also connects you to the place and the memories and everything like that.
It's a memory sparker, because I sit there and I look through all my coins and it's like, wow, I remember that trip, because you're talking about that back in the 90s when I got to go to Egypt in all its majestic glory. There was the pyramids and the Sphinx.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll try to do this real kind of, but that was my picture of the Sphinx, my hand in front of the camera, because the wind-up cameras, click, click. We didn't have phones back then. We didn't have digital cameras, so we had to take real pictures and wait for the development to happen. So I got the Sphinx right behind that. So I do coins, because I'm not a good picture taker.
That hurts, man.
So yeah. And then I know I showed this on a video and some people were talking about it, but I don't know how well this will come across. But this is that Star Wars set that me and my uncle put together, when I was a kid.
I used to have a lot of those. Wow.
Yeah. So this is the first.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's the first series. And then I used to take them out and there's the picture on the back and you can put a big wall picture together, puzzle piece.
Oh, Mike, that is so freaking cool, dude. Go back.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I remember that card with the Jawas, man. Oh,
yep.
Shit.
Yeah. And then you remember sometimes you get a sticker in the pack.
Sticker. Yeah, dude. The sticker.
Yeah.
Wow, look at Moff Tarkin, Grand Moff Tarkin. Oh,
Yeah.
I
And
like
then
how they spell out the phonetic
Return
spelling
of
of
the
PO.
Oh yeah, C3PO and stuff. Yeah, SEE. Return of
oh,
the Jedi. I missed out on the Empire Strikes Back, but Return of the Jedi. So came with the checklist and stuff.
dude, that is.
So
And you remember about the cards? It was the different color of the borders, right? That you know.
yeah,
The
like first
right?
series, second series. Yeah, so I think it was like blue was first, yellow. There was orange. There might have been a red. And then I was very surprised. So again, you go on YouTube or the internets and look for something, and to try to figure out a value on something like that. I didn't know they graded cards. I doubt I've got gem mint stuff, but
It's not about that, man.
I've had when I showed that video, I had a lot of people that be like, "Hey, how much for the cards?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Sorry, man, that junk's priceless."
Priceless, and it doesn't matter the condition, dude. Those are freaking priceless. You have the card with the oh my god, the Tuscan Raider.
The card or the sticker?
Or I'm not sure. You had it like on the top of the Tuscan Raider. Yeah, it's the sticker.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, how cool is that, bro?
Yeah.
Oh my god. You know, this might sound weird, what I'm about to say,
No.
but
It's not weird.
you showing those cards, I could almost smell them, dude. I almost could
Oh.
smell them.
Yeah, you remember the wax paper? It was wrapped in the wax paper. It had that diving board stick of gum in them. It's like,
Dude, you show those cards, and I could almost remember the smell of what they smelled like when you would open up a pack. And
yeah,
wow,
yeah.
damn, dude.
I used to go to a place called little store called Five and Dime.
Oh,
And that's where I get all that stuff. Yeah,
I think
me and my uncle. That was a big hunt for us to put that set together. It was a ton of memories. Plus, I was in the Boy Scouts with him. He was my scout leader, so we'd go to out on a weekend. He'd be like, "Hey, we're stopping by the Five and Dime on the way home." I'm like, "Yeah." So, good stuff.
Hey, Jackson Roy Kirk is asking, and I know what he's talking about. Isn't there a C3PO that's a little wrong? Do you know what he's talking about? I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about. I don't think I have that one because I thought that was the one that was in one of the not blue borders. I think it was a reprint or something.
Yeah, that I don't remember which set it was, but it's a C3PO, and it looks like he has like a long. He looks like long down, like long down.
Yeah. What was the one guy that's how oh man, the Godfather, that's how he knew Fredo lied to him when he talked about the naked guy show it, and he's like,
Cuba.
"Oh yeah, Jimmy Bones show him the Mandingo or whatever that guy's name was."
You gotta watch.
Yeah.
You gotta watch.
Yes. And that's what put him under. He knew.
Yeah, that's when he knew. Exactly. That's when he knew that he was freaking lying. It was oh my god, I shouldn't go there. It's a Jewish guy, and it was the guy that was with him in The Godfather 2. Yeah, dude, that's so good.
Yeah, he went around because he went around his back. Yeah.
Yeah, C3PO has a long dong.
Yeah.
That's also from 16 Candles. Long duck dong.
Long duck dong.
Yeah, long duck dong.
Yeah. Like dong. Where is my automobile?
Dong.
He's like, big lake. Big lake.
Yeah, it's Grandpa. I mean, dog. Grandpa is talking to you.
Yeah.
Bro,
and he's like,
movie,
remember that night when he was doing all the drinking? He's on that exercise bike. I love America.
Big Swedish girl. Dude, that's the best, dude. Long duck dong. He's the best. People right now are watching this and they're like, "What the hell? This just went in a whole different way."
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
They're talking about 16 candles, ladies and gentlemen. 16 candles.
Yeah.
We're talking about. But dude, that's awesome. So. Oh my god! So you collect the coins, I know I stepped away for a second. You guys were talking comics. What exactly do you collect in comics? Let's bring it back down.
Yeah. So I'm a reader, and I have a concern for my storage capacity. So I'm about 6 short boxes is my capacity right now, is what I'm finding out. I
Dude,
definitely don't want to deal with long boxes.
Dude, don't lie. Don't lie. It's not your capacity. It's your wife's capacity, bro.
Well, yeah, because if it bleeds out of the closet into the room, I mean, I heard your room can't bleed out of that room.
No,
right?
no. Hey, but I don't lie. I didn't lie, bro. Don't lie.
I'm not.
It's not even mine, because mine would bleed, but I'm not allowed to. Let's just say you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, but I read them. So, but I'm also trying to figure out, how can this hobby fund this hobby? I know I've watched a couple of Gem Mint things,
Right.
and I see Javi, you're doing like your LCS thing, Yeah. So, I mean, I know, because it was funny, because I love them to death, man. The LCS I go to, there's a comics club. I'm like, hey, man, maybe I could just like read the books and like bring them back. And he's like, he said it in a nice way, but he's like, this ain't a library, right? I was like, okay, I'll keep them.
Have you shredded any books?
I have not shredded any books. And so the thing about the shredding is, I just have to, any collector thing like that, you have to want that issue kind of a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he hasn't put out an issue of the shredded edition that I would want to put in, with my couple little slabs and tops and things like that. You got to have a connection to that book. So, and maybe that's where he's trying to figure it out is, who's going to have a connection to those books. I don't know how many sell, or if he sold them all or whatever, and I don't know how he picks them, but you gotta have a buyer, and he's just got to find out the formula to make that work. Like, I see you just popped up D Runk there. So D Runk's he's got the jam when it comes to those custom labels.
Oh, dude, I want one, definitely. I hope he D Runk, hit me up if you got it settled, man. So I need mine. I got a book for it, so that guy from the he got some backlash when he started doing that.
He did, but he's no bones about him. I mean, he's a businessman. He's been doing it 32 years, and he designed it, and he feels he's doing the right thing. I mean, he's got a killer box. He's got an awesome COA on it with a signature and a seal. He's only doing one, and that's it. I mean, he's trying to do it right. He's just not up there wailing away at his store. I mean, the dude's got like something crazy, like 100 and something thousand back issues. If you're looking for back issues, I mean, I don't know if you guys went to that store or not. I know you've been up to.
No, we didn't hit that.
But I know you've been up to like Urban Legends, So yes. Greg, that dude, that's a great dude, and he's got dollar books for days, and he's always got deals. And I don't know how he does it, but he gets collections in, and he moves product out of that little store that he's got, But yeah, no, he got, Dwayne got some backlash, but I think he's doing right. I mean, he's obviously doing a good business if he's been in it for 32 years. So
definitely, I need to go. We need to go there.
Yeah, it's a great shop. I never had a pull list until a year or so ago,
right?
And I would go in there, and I'd look around, and I didn't understand the whole game. So like I've been going there since the mid '90s, since I got here, and you're not there for like a year, and then Dwayne would see you or his wife Dolly and be like, "Hey Mike, how's it going?" I'm like, damn, you remember me from a year ago? Yeah, weren't you looking for that Batman book? So it's like, whoa, and everything's priced out. It's not like a guessing game. Yeah. I was talking to somebody else, and there's a shop around here that you don't know what you're paying for until you go up to the register, and then he prices the books out at the register. Yeah. So at the Comics Club, you know what you're getting into, and it's good, honest people, So.
I went to the shop today with my daughter and her boyfriend, right? And they went to a big store by us. I'm not even gonna. and it's just a huge store. And my LCS is a smaller store, and I told them why I go to my store because I walked in and I'm having a I'm walking in and I'm already in a conversation with the owner. And me and her are talking, and we talked for about 15, 20 minutes, and they're looking at the store, and they went to the other store I'm talking about that I don't want to mention, and they're like, man, nobody even said hi to us, or it's a much bigger store, obviously, but still, she goes, yeah, I remember they told me the story. Yeah, I was looking at the guy and I said hi, and it took them forever to even look up, acknowledge
it's
me.
like you're bothering them. Yeah.
Exactly. Those stores where you walk in and they know you, it's like Cheers. I want to go where everybody knows. It's such a little thing, man, and it makes such a huge difference.
Yeah, and then when you get to know him, because he's a Superman fan and she's a Batman fan, and I read the Batman family stuff too, and she's like, oh, I picked out a nice cover for you, and she picks out some nice covers for me, and I was like, man, I appreciate that. They go above and beyond,
You can't.
So,
you can't.
and they know I'm limited on funds. It's not like I'm in there. I think I went in one time with a gift card, and I bought my first wall book, and I think it was like a $10 Star Wars book, and I was like, man, I'm spending $10 on a book. And then I see some guys like, yeah, I got this for a steal. It was like $250. I'm like, $200.50? Like, nope. 250 bones. Like, whoo. So rich for my blood. Remember? Poor Mike.
Comics are the prices have blown up, man.
And
years, it seems like everything's doubled in price.
Yeah. And then I learned the whole FOMO thing, right? Because it's not like about keeping up with the Joneses anymore, right? It's like you got a great collection, Javi. You got a great collection, Raul, and it's like I don't need what you got. I want to see what you got. I like when you guys share what you got, but it's like because you posted it, it's like, oh damn, I got to go down and get 2 copies, and what's it gonna do at my house? Sit in the box, So it's like once I realized that, and it's like, okay. What do I read? I like Star Wars. I like Battlestar Galactica. I like the Batman family stuff. I just got in. Unfortunately, I picked up a new one, but it's an old one. John Carter, the Warlord of Mars.
Oh, nice!
Man, dude, those books are awesome. And somebody posted Edgar. What's the guy's name?
Burroughs.
Edgar Burroughs. This is the author, right?
Right.
Like that's what John was inspired by. So there's novels out there by this guy. So I was like, damn, now I got to go find some novels by this guy. So do some like reading with no pictures. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow, I got to,
Did you ever see the movie?
I love the movie. So here's one thing you have to know about me. I like all kinds of music. My wife is getting me into the country. I still have a hard time with the whole, chew tobacco, spit, all that kind of stuff. But I'll listen to any music. I'll watch any movie, except this one movie by Robert Redford.
Which one?
Havana.
I haven't seen it.
I fell asleep in the movie theater. That one just dozed me out. But I'll watch anything. So that's why I can't do previews that's why I can't do reviews on my channel. This was the best movie ever. You guys got to go see this movie. And then people are going to be like, you dumbass, that was the shittiest movie ever, So
I'm the same way, man.
I love that
it's
John
hard
Carter.
to not like something.
Yeah.
Hey,
I like it all.
Edgar Rice Burroughs. He also did Tarzan.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody posted, there's a guy I started talking with over here in my side of town. I don't know if he's on YouTube, but, he's collecting those books from the 60s and the 70s, the Tarzans and stuff like that. And he posted that on IG, and I was like, man, those books look awesome. And then I realized that's the guy that did John Carter. I was like, oh man, I gotta at least read 1 or 2 of those books. I don't have to get the first edition, whatever they are. I don't even know if novels come out in first editions or what. But yeah, I'm a reader, so my books get read. I forget about them after a couple months. I want to reread a story arc again. So I just finished. I got the whole collection now of the pre-books, the storybooks and the post books of Age of Apocalypse.
Okay.
So I'm in the middle of the pre-books right now with X Factor, you know, so 90s goodness.
Wow.
Nice.
So, but yeah, I'll read through that, and it's like, oh man, this is great. You know, that'll keep me, you know, I read in the morning before I go on my walk, before I go to work. And then that's kind of like my, I guess you call it winding up time, because it's not my winding down time, because
Getting ready for the day,
work.
your brain flowing.
Yeah, man, just something. And then sometimes it's music, so I'll listen to music, or and for me, music has always been about moods. You know, what mood are you in? That's what you're gonna gravitate towards. You know, I love Spanish music, even though I don't understand all the words, but I love the hell out of the rhythms. There's one guy, Joe Arroyo. Wow. Okay, that guy can sing, you know, and I'll pick words out, and that's another thing about my best friend. Growing up, I'd be like, "What is he saying? What the hell is he saying?" And he's like, "He's talking about boxes." You know, he's picking up the cases, you know, and it's like, oh my God, tú me tienes mi acá, yo no tiene mi cojones, tú no me tienes acá. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like, this is the best song ever, you know. And he's like, he's talking about boxes and cases, you know. Like, okay, but it's cool. It sounds great, you know.
He makes it work. He makes it work, dude.
Yeah, man.
I was listening.
Yeah.
You mentioned the country, and I'm not the biggest country fan, but dude, I was listening to the Stones, Exile on Main Street, and that is pure freaking country. You know, I start thinking about it. It's like there's British guys in the '70s doing country music. Because I might be wrong, dude, but it sounded like country to me, and it was great. But it's like it's the Stones doing it. So
yeah, I mean, I like stuff. I like crossover stuff too. So it's like I'll hear a Sting song, I'm like, man, that's pretty awesome. And then all of a sudden, I'll hear some deep cut somewhere off of Apple Music, and it's like Johnny Cash singing "I Hung My Head," you know. And I thought, damn, I thought that was a Sting song, you know, but it was his rendition. Was like, man, that's,
you come across
crossover
that.
stuff is pretty bad. Yeah, man, that's cool stuff.
Have you heard of Johnny Cash when he did Nine Inch Nails "Hurt"?
No.
Oh my God!
Wow, I gotta look for that.
It's Johnny Cash, and he did it. I believe he did it right before he died, and it's "Hurt," but the original is a Nine Inch Nails song, and it's one of my all-time favorites. His rendition is
right.
It's amazing, and oh my God, dude, you gotta listen to that. Have you ever heard that, Javi? "Hurt" by Johnny Cash.
I've never heard it. No, it's pretty amazing.
Bro, when you watch the video for it, it's like him just reminiscing. Oh, dude, it's like he knew his time was short, and then you listen to the Nine Inch Nails song, and it's like, oh my God, dude, Johnny Cash killed this. It is.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. I never knew about that, because you would think that Nine Inch Nails would do a cover of Johnny Cash, not the other way around.
Yeah, dude.
Right.
And it was I believe it's the guy that. Oh my God, I can't remember his name. It's the guy that he produced the Beastie Boys. He's the guy, Rick Rubin. I believe Rick Rubin was the producer for it. That's what it is.
I'm looking at it up. As soon as you mentioned it, I looked it up and I was like, what?
Bro, listen to that song and watch the video. The video is amazing for it.
Yeah.
Wasn't that, did you, I'm sure you saw that, was it Apple Music did that documentary on the Beastie Boys? That was pretty cool.
I haven't seen it, man. I have not seen it, but I know I haven't seen it.
It's cool. It's like a stage show though. So it's like two of them talking, because I think one of them passed away, right?
Yeah, one of them. Adam Young.
Yeah. So the two guys talking, and then they're reminiscing, and then it's like they're on stage and they're talking, interacting with the audience. But then they can show clips and stuff behind them and things. It's a pretty cool. It's a pretty cool documentary.
Awesome.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but there's a ton of YouTube videos on them talking about it, and I've seen those when they're talking about it, and it's just some guys interviewing them, I guess, after when it first came out. But
yeah.
Look at Mastodon. He's saying that Johnny Cash covered a lot of people. See, that I didn't know. Soundgarden, dancing. Bro.
Mastodon posted a thing on IG and it was like, what is this thing in my garden? And I was like, man, I got them things all over here.
Dude, they're here everywhere, right, Mike? They're here everywhere. I remember playing as a kid. I would try to get them out, right?
Yeah. And then when I finally got one out, I was like, oh, that's what they put in Chekhov's ear. I was like, oh, because it looks like that.
Dude,
because you find. Yeah, it's like you win the lottery, man. You drop an ant in there, and then you're like, scoop them out, and you miss them. Damn. So then you got to go to another one, and I don't know how much, sometimes there was so many of those cones.
Yes.
I didn't know if it was one of them for like 6 cones he was running underneath, or it was like each one had their own animal in it or something.
I think each one had their own and then you see the ants fall in, and it's like, oh shit. It's like in Return of the Jedi or whatever.
The Sarlacc. Yeah. Remember, it would like spit the dirt on him.
Yeah.
And it would fall down.
Yeah. Dude, I saw that on Mastodon. I saw it on 2, and I saw that you answered. I saw that.
Yes. They're all over Florida, man. I was like, oh man.
Have you don't know what that is, Javi?
I need to look at the video.
When I was a kid, dude, those things were like, what the fuck is doing that, dude? And then it was hours of fun, right?
Yes.
Oh, dude, that's so simple.
We used to go to this park. I called it the Naked Lady Park, and it was named after somebody in Miami. But there was a statue, a huge concrete statue of and it was a faceless kind of a woman, but it definitely had breasts, and it was like sitting down on her butt with her legs out in front and her arms in the back. And as a kid, maybe my mom should have known something was wrong with me, but I would run up on the boobs and just be like swinging on the boobs. Let's go to the Naked Lady Park. And then when I was finished playing with that, all around the bottom was all the ant lions and stuff. I was like, oh, it was kind of like my babysitter. Mom knew I was okay because I was sitting over there playing with the bugs and the dirt and stuff like that.
Dude, that's all I did, dude, when I was a kid.
It was off of like Old Color and Red Road or something like that. There was somebody's name. I can't remember the guy's name. I'll remember it after this show, but it was a man's name in a park somewhere by Parrot Jungle or something like that. But,
oh my God, the old Parrot Jungle.
Well, probably the old Parrot Jungle. I like to say it. I left in '92. I hadn't, man. So wow, we went back last year, spring break, when the world was normal, and we stayed in Kendall, right across the street from La Carreta. I would go get the croquetas and the cafecito. Oh man, talk about memory.
Good,
so
man.
I hadn't been back since I left in '92, and I hadn't been back since last year was 18 or 19.
Wow.
So.
Hey, but there's a lot of good spots in Tampa, man. Steve went and got some food for us. We went up recently. I don't remember the name of the place, but dude, it was on point.
Yeah. That very famous Cuban place, and they have the huge potato cakes. And
yeah. There's a ton. The thing I have to worry about though is because they always like the devil crab cakes or whatever. Because get this, I'm French. My last name means fish, but I'm allergic to seafood.
Yeah.
Steve's the same thing, bro.
Steve,
yeah. Steve, I think it's shrimp and all that stuff that he can't eat. That's crazy.
Well, so mine used to just be a fish allergy, and I could eat the shellfish. But I remember the day in 1995, I had a bowl of clam chowder and my throat closed, and ever since then, no seafood. Yeah. Saves me money. But that's when you find these little places and they're like, oh, crab ragoon or devil crab cakes, or we put a special ingredients in here. It's like lobster juice. It's like, bro, that could kill me. I got to take it easy on some of the smaller mom and pop shops. With their ingredients. So, and they always look at me. They always look at me funny when I ask them what's in it.
Well, I'm allergic because of peanuts, not so much for fish, I would think.
Oh yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
I know my niece she's always has like I forget what they're called, but the shot
EpiPen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
I
ain't
used to have to carry one, but once I learned what was going on with me, then I just kind of take it easy because big pharma wants their money for that EpiPen. You ain't getting that on no $10 copay.
Oh, dude, those things are expensive as hell, and they don't last forever. They have an expiration date.
1 year, 1 year. And I thought I would just be slick and keep it forever, but like you can tell the insides get kind of cloudy. You know what I mean? And it's like you can see the stuff separating in there, like salad dressing or something. I don't know.
Yeah, dude. Hey, I'm with Mastodon. That would freaking destroy me if I couldn't eat seafood. Dude, that would be a sad day for me, man. Super sad day.
But we could go out and I'll have the turf and you could have the surf.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We went to Jacksonville. We went to this place called some Crab Shack, and we were with family last week, dude. And we ordered a bucket. Everybody stopped eating, and I was still freaking just tearing it up, dude. I was just freaking crabs and dude, I freaking okay. I'm sorry, I'm speaking.
There used to be a place. I want to say Captain Crabs in Miami, where instead of like a bucket of KFC chicken, you get a bucket of blue crab legs and stuff.
There's still one in Carroll City, man, and they do the garlic blue crab.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah. Ours used to be right across the street from Tony Roma's, so we used to get ribs from Tony Roma's.
I used to love the bountiful beef ribs at Tony Roma's.
Yeah.
They were like Brontosaurus ribs, bro. They were
like Flintstones. Yeah.
God damn, those were good, bro. God.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're hitting food. Hey, we're actually at an hour and a half, man. I know. We're getting.
Holy, sorry about that. Dang.
No, it's all good, man.
We're at an hour and 26 minutes, man. It goes by fast, dude. It goes by.
Man, you'll get your views up and you'll start collecting them commercial monies.
So I think we're gonna call it. It's
man. All right.
I know you got to work tomorrow, but
Super.
The West Coast. So I think it's like what 6 o'clock there.
Yeah, we're 3 hours behind, so it's 7:30 over here.
Yeah, I can still see. I think you still got sunlight.
Man, it doesn't get dark here until late.
Very nice. But Mike,
So real quick. So a PSA announcement from your friendly neighborhood air conditioning guy. All right. So everybody, air conditioning pulls out the moisture from the air. Okay, and that's what collects on the coil, drains down into the drain, and it's supposed to drain outside your house. If you have water inside your house near your air conditioner, that's a bad thing. So a simple fix is everybody should look at I don't have any props with me, but the PVC piping that's coming out of the air handler. So it might be in a closet. The air handler is the inside unit and the condenser is the outside unit. So the air handler is going to have a PVC drain line that might be insulated with foam, black rubber foam, because it sweats. It's colder than the air that's in your house, so it's going to condense itself. But inside there is the water that is supposed to leave your house. Now, when you look underneath your sink and you see that U-bend tube that's called a P-trap. So we also have a P-trap in there because it keeps the water flowing and it keeps stuff from coming outside in. So in that P-trap can collect algae and let's just say mold for the lack of a better term, but it can get all slimy and clogged up. The simple fix is there's going to be a fitting that you can just take the top off of, get a funnel, and you want to mix 50%. So if you do 1 cup of bleach, you have to do a cup of water, because the bleach can actually eat the glue over time. It can eat the glue away from the PVC. But that simple pour once a month down your drain line will clean out the intestines, so to speak, like a Roto-Rooter, chemical Roto-Rooter, to clean out your air conditioning drain lines.
That's all.
That's all it takes. Now, you can buy condensate pan treatment but you have to access the pan to put the treatment in, and it looks like little tums and it dissolves and things like that.
Mhm.
But if you access that little port, bleach and water, and flush it through there once a month, you'll save yourself a lot of money.
2 months ago, that's what happened with mine, and it was the slime buildup.
Yeah.
And I called the guy. He came fast, right after everybody was yelling and going freaking ballistic, because we didn't. Dude, that cost I think like $200 or some crap. And all he did was he I think he bought like an air tank or something, and he blew it out first. The slime.
Right.
And it took him maybe half an hour. Just he checked everything else, and I know the guy.
Right.
I trust what he did, but that was like $200.
Yeah. So that's another thing I don't care for my trade is, you're always going to get the shade tree mechanics that just give us a bad name, just like a car mechanic would. But to show up and charge to show up and then charge a flat rate fee, I understand they're a business trying to make money and stay in a business, but you don't have to have a 500% markup on parts and things like that. Yeah. And then the hourly rate, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not, probably why I don't own my own business. I'm not a good businessman, but if I was to come over to your house, like, what do you owe me? It's like, I don't know, bake me some cookies or something. You don't have to pay me any money. It's a simple fix like that. Now if I was out there changing out your whole unit, then there'd be a cost associated with that. But the simple fixes, if you can save yourself that $200, what else could be on that wall behind you?
Exactly. But Mike, you also got to look at it. You went to school to learn this. You're trying to drive out. That's all money. That's all incurred in that what they charge, dude. Dude, I don't care as long as my air is working.
But as long as you feel comfortable. So obviously you have a comfortable relationship with the guy that you call out because you said my tech. So I mean, hey, so you're comfortable and that's an agreed upon price. That's great.
Yeah.
I didn't know if something like that would have been an interest to you because I'm thinking about making a segment of quick fixes like that on my channel to say, hey, I just wasn't sure if that would be a draw. What is
Mike, it's your channel, bro. Whatever. It's your channel, dude. I'm serious.
I'm sure somebody out there is like just as DIY as me, or somebody out there is just like, how do I fix this AC? Like, I don't want to,
90 was asking me because 90 did the one with his fishing, like a day in the life of 90, not too long ago. Asking me, hey, dude, you think this is how does it look? And I go, dude, it's your channel, bro. Who cares? Just do it. It's something important to you. You're interested in it. Do it. Who cares, man? It's comic related. It's not comic related, but dude, who cares, man? And just on Instagram, I've noticed on Instagram, I get more, I guess, views or likes, or I don't know how it is on Instagram. People watch it more non-comic book related, almost pictures that I put up. Like I put a picture with me and my son up for his birthday. I get like double the.
Or you in the Thriller outfit with your buddy?
Yeah, or me in the Thriller outfit with my. Dude, and people just want to see that, and you know what? It's your channel, dude. You put whatever you want. You're gonna if you help.
Somebody's gonna come out there and look for it,
dude. If you help one person to save on their air conditioning, dude, that's one person you save money on. Dude.
It's good point. Good point.
Yeah, I say go for it, dude.
So stay tuned for an AC DIY segment.
So you said just do that, bleach and water once a month. Just down that thing.
Yeah. So whatever your math is. So if you're doing half a cup of bleach, do half a cup of water because you got to dilute the bleach.
Right.
But you run that down your drain, and that's going to help clean out all those slimy stuffs in there. And then wherever your drain comes out. So if it's in the landscape, because for whatever reason, people put their air conditioning like behind shrubbery and all this kind of stuff. That thing has to breathe, but usually that tube comes out in the landscaping, and then people cover it with the mulch and stuff. So it has to let the water out.
Okay.
Just make sure you got the little clean area around the drain where it comes out.
Yeah, that I
So.
know is clear. So that's also a mess, man. Oh, dude, that's another story I had once. With air conditioning where the slime wasn't coming out of that tube in the ground, and dude, that just rotted, like all the dirt around. Oh, dude, it was nasty, bro. Just nasty.
Yeah, it's pretty rough stuff. It's pretty rough.
All right,
Yeah.
so on that note, we're at an hour and 34 minutes, and I think we pretty much killed all the viewers. So you know,
man,
I'll be watching your content.
okay.
But
thank you so much for having me. I mean, I really appreciate it. This show, you know, I listen to this show usually on the replay because of the time, but I really enjoyed the show because we get to learn a little bit about, you know, somebody in the community here. It's a pretty cool idea you got going on.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, man, it's great. It's great stuff.
Next time,
and I want to hear some music from Javi. I don't know how I get to hear some music from Javi. So
it's coming soon. It's coming soon. That's what I tell everybody.
Okay.
Hey, speaking of which, we're gonna be on tomorrow, right, Javi? What do we got going on?
On tomorrow on my channel, Conquistadork channel, we're actually gonna be bringing you a music history / trivia / battle shows, but it's going to be a more music oriented show.
Yeah.
And it's going to be me, Hialeah Comic Bro will be joining me, and hopefully Goat99 will come back and do a live stream with us, and he'll be joining us as well. So check that out tomorrow, 9 p.m. EST.
Mm-hmm.
More music oriented.
Yeah, Start Me Up show, right? We're gonna do another episode of the Start Me Up show. Right. And hopefully you'll be back soon, man. But I know you're having a good time in Cali, so good for you, bro.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
And I'll be putting up videos here and there. And next week we'll be back on Wednesday with another episode of Inquiring Minds. Javi, thank you, Mike. Dude, this was great, bro. It was great spending time with you, man, and getting to know you.
I was nervous as all get. I was like, I don't know what we're gonna talk about. Give me the questions, and you're like, no questions. Seat of the pants. It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
And it works, right? It works.
Yeah, it works.
It
works.
So everybody,
thank you very much.
Man, thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by, man. Appreciate each and every one of you and everybody on the replay. Thank you so much. And so long from the Sunshine State, everybody. Be good. See you next week.
Oprah boys.
Oprah boys.